So the last session, what we did,
Yeah, Madhukar?
apply the break and set, right? And this,
Madhukar?
yes, Ram.
Yeah, but yesterday actually, I don't know, but I didn't get any pop-up after the session. So is any
So it is
actually?
this one, right? It's not
Yeah, already
recording.
I got that one, yesterday's one, but I want to know the
Okay. So basically, after ending the session, you need to wait some time.
but I didn't shut down my system. So after the close,
Maybe by mistake, like it is ended. Still share the recorded session. You will get the recorded session. Just
I
download it.
already got that, already sent a mail and I got it. But here options is the convert to Windows Media Player file, right?
That's it. That's it. And then click on start recording button.
Sorry?
After settings, you need to select the start recording button also.
Okay.
Forgot to select the start recording button.
Yes. Okay, I did, but so okay, that's fine, no problem.
Okay, fine. Okay, guys. So today we are going to discuss creating the variables at the report level. So let's connect to the server. So I'm connecting to the business object server. Just guys, I'm repeating again how to connect to the server. So go to the run and type the ms tsc and click on OK, and you can enter the IP address of this. So or else like you can enter the Ravi will provide. So for login to ERP ATS, you can enter this IP name, or else like you can give this IP address and connect here. So guys, you guys are receiving the different same user, same IP address. Okay. So but connecting to this different server, it is the same. Okay. The session has expired. Let me log out and log in again. Fine. So I have a login to the BA Launchpad here. Hey, hi Raghuram, and Raghu, you can record the session. So there is a start recording button is there on top of the attendees list. You can continue the recording session. You can just save it to your local system. Fine. So creating the report here. So go to the application, click on Web Intelligence application, click on New, Universe. Okay. So I'm just taking the year object, state I'm taking, and the measures I'm taking is and suppose. So if we want to add the product lines information in our block, so we can add the product lines information or the city information. So we can edit the query. So where we need to select to go to the edit query, which is the tab we need to select to go to the edit query. Data access, correct. So go to the data access. So to add the other object into report, so you need to go to the data access and edit this section. And also I'm adding the city information here. Run this query. Okay. So what is my requirement here? I want to display the tax information. How much tax am I paying? The tax. Do we have any tax column? No. We don't have any tax column. Even if you can search here, you can search here. If there any tax column is tax object is there, it will display. Income tax. Okay. So run this query. So we don't have any tax column, but so I can calculate it. I can create a formula on tax column and I can display that. So what I'm doing, insert a new column. Insert a new column of the right hand side. So I want to calculate the tax on the sales revenue. So how to calculate it? So go select this column and open the function bar formula editor and the sales revenue into 0.01. 0.1. It will be the 10%, right? Or else like you can give 12%, 0.12, 12%. Okay. Click on OK. Just validate this. Is the formula is correct or not? The formula is correct. Click on OK. Okay. Okay. This will assume like 12% of the sales revenue, the tax of the sales revenue. So this is for the year wise, California wise tax. Okay, now make it as a tax. So column name I'm making this tax, and I am creating the one more report, add a report. So I'm taking the state object. So no, I want to take it as a city. So city wise, I want to calculate the tax information. Okay. So city wise, how much tax I'm paying for each city. So how much tax I'm paying for each city. So assume like 12% under tax. So then how we can display the tax again? So we need to insert a new column and add a formula. Just copy that formula and add it. So instead of that inserting a new formula again, so what I am doing, so whatever I created the formula, so that formula I am making it as variable. Okay, the formula I am making it as a variable. So why we need to create a variable? So if you create a variable, I can reuse that formula in another report. I can reuse that formula in another blocks. Okay, if you make it as a variable, the formula which I have created, so that I am making it as a variable. Okay, so how to create a variable? So select this, click on variable, create a variable. So this is about, so v underscore tax. Why I am giving the v underscore tax? So developers can understand easily. So this is a variable. If you make under naming convention v underscore, so it will be easy to understand the other web developers. Okay, so click on OK. Then so once you create the v underscore tax, so this you will need to make it as a measure object. Click on OK. V underscore tax. So that variable you can see here. So you can use this variable in another report. So take this v underscore. Now you can see the data. So each city wise tax information, so it is calculated. And also, so I want to create a I want to generate a report with the cost per unit. So what is the cost per unit for it? So for that, so I'm going to create a one more variable. Instead of creating a formula and making it as a variable, directly you can create a variable. So earlier what I have done, just I have inserted a formula, and once I have inserted the formula, that I made it as a variable. Okay, so or else instead of doing that, you can create a variable directly. Click on new variable. So v underscore cost per unit. V underscore cost per unit. So how we can calculate the cost per unit? So I want to see there is a different for each unit how much cost it is. So there is a dresses, there is jackets. What is the cost per jacket? So how we can calculate the cost per unit? Can anyone tell? What is the formula for cost per unit? No idea? See guys, so just I'm creating the one more report. Add a report. So I'm adding the year. So in 2004, I want to know the cost of the accessories. Revenue by unit, total fixed cost, correct. So simple, it's not a complex. The sales revenue divided by the quantity sold, right? So to find out the cost per unit is it's the sales revenue divided by the quantity only. So create a new variable. So cost per unit, perfect. So sales revenue divided by the quantity sold. Simple formula, it's not a complex one. So sales revenue divided by the quantity. So the cost per unit I have created. So then, so take this and drop here. So 145 in 2004 accessories cost per unit is 145, and 2005 the accessories cost per unit is 158, right? So similarly for 2006 you can see. So this is a way. So this is a way we can create a formulas and variables. Okay, formula, and that you can make it as a variable. Either you can go for formula, either you can go for variable. So but like always try to, if you are using the same formula in a different blocks and different report tabs, so better you can create a variable instead of creating formula. So variables, if you create a variable, so then slightly it will give the performance, good performance. Yes, correct. Okay, create a variable. So instead of the creating the formulas, so if you use a variable, so you can reuse that the same formula in another blocks. So suppose if you are creating the formula in a particular block, so it cannot be used in any of the another report. So this formula or this variable is to the specific to this only this document. So I cannot reuse these variables in another report, which is another tab. So that is not possible. So this can be possible with only the within the document. You can reuse that formula in the different tabs or different blocks. Okay, fine, guys. So I hope everybody understand how to create the variables, how to create the formulas. You can create different formulas, different variables using this. I need to enable the multiple uses for this server. Okay, so I hope it's clear, everybody, about the variables and the formulas. Fine. Okay, so my requirement is like see, I'm going to create a form. I'm going to create a prompt. So my requirement is I want to change the report titles dynamically. So I want to show the report titles changes dynamically. How to change the report titles dynamically? So that we'll see. Yes, Raj, I will show you again the formulas. How to create a formula. So now I'm taking the year object, and also I'm taking the city object. In the product lines I'm taking, in the measures, which is the sales revenue and quantity sold, I'm taking, and I'm creating the prompt on the state object. Here in list of prompt, so that the prompt which you can change the text, you can change the text anytime. Enter state, enter state. So guys, just I'm copying this prompt text, enter state, copy this, and run this query. Okay, so I'm selecting the DC and click on OK. So yes, if just I will repeat again. Okay, so now let's just I want to show whatever the value I selected from the prompt. So that value I want to pass into the report titles. Okay, so now let's assume like see, just go to the refresh, and now I have selected a DC and Florida, two states information I have selected. So that report titles should display on my particular, that whatever the value selected, those values I want to display in the report titles. So similarly, the sales report, suppose I have selected the two states, sales report for DC and DC, comma Florida. So this report is for the DC and Florida, but users select some other states. So DC, Florida, I removed it, and users select the Texas. Then so the report should display the header titles should display the Texas now. Basically, it is a static information is displaying, but my requirement is report title changes dynamically based on the user selection. If user select the Texas, the report sales report for Texas. If user select the multiple values, then it should display the report is for the other states. Okay, so that is what my requirement. So basically, report titles should display dynamically based on the user selection. Okay, so how we can do that? Just increase this. Okay, so report titles changes dynamically based on the user selection. How we can make it? So what I'm doing here, so go to the edit query. So copy this, the prompt text, Control C, and run this query. Okay, fine. So Texas I have selected, but DC it is displaying. So the user selected should display. Then what I am doing here, so go to the formula editor and remove this. So there is a function called the user response. So using the user response function, we can pass the prompt values in our report. So user response function, it returns the prompt values. User response function, it returns the prompt values. So but which prompt values? So if you have the multiple prompts, which prompt values you want to do it? So you need to pass the, you need to enter the parameter here. What is that parameter? You need to pass the prompt text here. So Control V, enter state is the text of the prompt of text of the prompt. Okay. So enter state and click on OK. Click on OK. Now Texas. Of the Texas, I'm selecting the New York and the Florida. So two states information is displaying. So but I want to add the text. So sales report for. So sales report for New York, and see how we can add the text. So you need to add the text with the double quotes. Okay. Sales report for. So then, so we are adding the text. You need to add the plus sign. Concat of. Okay, formula is correct. Then click on OK. So now guys, you can see sales report for New York and Florida. And similarly, so instead of the New York, like let's select the Massachusetts. So then Massachusetts data, it will display prompt values in our report. So guys, clear? So how to display the prompt, how to display the report titles dynamically? Is that clear, everybody? Okay. This is about the one type of report. Let's close it. You can use, yeah, it is a label, yes. So it is a kind of formula only, the user response. So sales report also, whatever I have written formula, so that you can create a variable. So guys, so variables, so how to create the variables that we have discussed, and how to display the prompt values in our report that we have done. And then, so I'm creating a new report here. Let's discuss about, so creating a report, how we can drill down the reports, how end user can analyze the report with a multi-dimensional way. Okay. So we can enable the drill option that we'll see now. So this is a very, very important. Drilling option is very, very important. So here, state I'm taking, product lines I'm taking, the measure, sales revenue and quantity sold I'm taking. Okay, so what I want to do, see how the end user analyzes report with multi-dimensional way. So user want to analyze the report from the year to the quarter wise. So year and a quarter is another dimension. So you want to see the data with the detailed information, nothing but is a year to the quarter and quarter to the month. So that is what detail level, right? So drill down is, so with the drill down option, we can, end user can analyze the, and you can see the data from the highest level to the lowest level. So how he can analyze the report from the highest level to the lowest level? By user can analyze the reports easily with the low level information, right? So if user select here, then so it should display the quarter wise results. The lowest level information it should display the quarter wise results with the sales revenue and the state, each state. So what is the each quarter wise sales revenue it should display. That is what my requirement. Okay. So how to enable the drill option? So there is a drill option, you can see this. Then if you go, come here, right, drill down to the, let's come back to the universe, because the custom hierarchies it is displaying. So what is hierarchies? Hierarchy is an order series of related dimensions. Hierarchy is an order series of related dimensions. What exactly that? Order series of related dimensions. If you come to the time period, so this is order. order series. This is an order series of related dimension. In the time period, you can see year, quarter, month, week, holiday. There are the four objects, 5 objects are there. 5 objects is in the same order. So year, quarter is a different order which is related to the time period, right? So this is hierarchy. This is one of the hierarchy. And if you come to the state, this is one of the hierarchy, state, city, and store name. So based on the hierarchy, you can drill down the report. So from the state to the city, city to store name. So which is the default hierarchies. Exactly. Okay. So what I'm doing now, by default, so what I'm going to do, actually in the last session we have set up the custom hierarchies. So what I will do, so I will take the back to this custom hierarchies by connecting to the utility tool. So inverse designer tool, I can open the inverse from there. So I will make the default hierarchies. So in the last session we discussed that I changed it to the custom hierarchies. What I'm going to do, import the inverse. If fashion, click on OK. So universe designer is going to do it. Who is the universe designer? Yes, we are the universe designers. Discuss the custom hierarchy slider. Okay, we are the designers. We are the universe designers. Okay, let's create a report again. If you are doing any changes at the inverse level, so to reflect those changes, you need to open the new session. Then only it will reflect it. Or else just save that report and open it again. Then time. Yes. Okay, it's hierarchies. Okay. So now just I'm taking the year object, state I'm taking, the product lines I'm taking, and the measures I'm taking the sales revenue and quantity. So run this query. So now how to enable the drill option? Go here and enable the drill option here. Once you enable, right? So as you can see, now whenever 2004, I'm clicking on 2004, then drill down to the quarter. So it will change. So it is going to display the quarter-wise results. So drill down. So this now the data which is displaying the quarter. So all the quarters. So in here, like you can find the 4 quarters information, right? So we go to the last page. You can see the 4 quarters information, and come to the first page. Fine. And so here you can see, you can select the 2006. Then so the quarter different 4 quarters, it will display only the 2006 data. Okay. And if you go to the next level, if you drill down to the next level, so it is going to drill down to the month. So how this is happening based on the default hierarchies. The order, how the order is year, quarter, month, week, holiday. The order which is we have created the objects, so only that order way, so we are going to drill down the reports, year, quarter, month, to set up these hierarchies. So based on the requirement only, we need to decide, so on which level, so user want to drill down the report. So if user is not interested to see drill down the report from the year to the quarter, then so we can skip the quarter wise. Okay, so that I will show you how to skip the particular objects. Okay, so then next quarter to the month, when you drill down to the month. But one thing is, you are observing it or not, I am not sure. So whenever I am going to drill down to the next level, so how the data is displaying. So generally the back product wise only, but whenever you are drill down the report, what happened? So the backend SQL is new SQL is generating when you drill down the report. So guys, if you see, if you take the mouse, if you take the cursor, so here, so you can see drill down to the backend, the SQL is SQL modifying So when you drill down it, okay. So now click on new city, state to the city wise it is displaying. Now, so in the drop down list you can select. So I'm selecting the Florida. Then Florida state city information is displaying, and also you can select the whole in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter month it is displaying, right? And also you can select the 2005 data. So 2005, the fourth quarter, Florida state information sales revenue is displaying. Okay. Yes. So yes, correct. So and see, when you are designing when you drill down the report, so it will degrade the performance of the reports. So how come? So how it will degrade the performance? So the backend it is creating a new query when you are clicking on the drill down. So to get the data from the database, increase the performance of the drill down reports, so we can set up the scope of analysis also. Okay. So that I will show you again. So now, so if I go back to the drilled up, so if I go back to the lowest level to the lowest level to the highest level, so that we can do it from the drill up. So what is exactly the drill up? Is the drill up is so analyzing the report from the lowest level to the highest level, right? So drill up. Okay. And similarly, you can drill up the report from the city to Florida state. So this is the way we can drill up the report. Drill down is nothing but analyzing the report, but from user can analyze it from analyze the report from the lowest level to the highest level. That is what drill up. And there is also basically when you drill down and drill up, and that can be done with within the hierarchies. Within the hierarchies means so year hierarchy, time period hierarchy. In the time period hierarchy, you can drill down the report year to the quarter to year. So you are doing within the hierarchies when you are drill down the report, when you drill up the report. There is another option called the drill by. So using the drill by, you can go to the any hierarchy. You can go to the any other hierarchies using the drill by option. Okay. So drill by. So see in the product lines. So basically when you drill down the report, you can see the within the hierarchy. So next categories it is displaying. But so I want to go to the some other hierarchy, which is, so I want to display the month wise, or I want to display the city wise information. So month I am selecting. So then report is going to display the month wise sales revenue. Okay. So drill by is nothing but, so you can go to the other hierarchy by using the drill by. Down we can analyze the report within the hierarchies, within the same hierarchy. But so drill by option, you can go to the other hierarchy, you can display the data. That can be done with the drill by option. So just go to the right click on this and select the drill by option. This is how we can do it. Okay. Fine. Now you can select the month wise data it is displaying. And if you want to remove it, you can remove it. Okay. So this is how we can do it. Okay. So guys, so everybody clear about the drill down, drill up and drill by reports. So user using the drill down, drill up, drill by. So with this option, user can analyze the report with the multi-dimensional way. Okay, fine. So now, so I'm going to create one more report. So create a new Webby report. Click on new universe. Click on universe. Select. Here I am selecting, and state, product lines. So whenever you are creating the drill down, drill up reports, so there is an option called scope of analysis comes into the picture. Scope of analysis. So the scope of analysis, with the scope of analysis, we can decide how many levels you want to drill down the report. So from in the when you are running the query itself, so you can get the data to certain levels. You can retrieve. Suppose I want to retrieve the data from the database to one level. That means, so when you first time run the report, so we'll get the data from the database, the quarter wise, city wise, category wise. The one level of data will get into your report. Okay. So what is the purpose of scope of analysis? If you set up the scope of analysis, so before running the query, so then so you will improve our drill down reports. So you will improve the performance of the drill down reports. So how it will happen? See, so go to the analysis tab and enable the drill option. So whenever you are trying to drill down the report, see already we are retrieve the data from the one level of the hierarchy. Okay, that means so quarter wise data we already retrieve into our database from the database. So whenever you are drill down to is not generating the SQL, new SQL is not generating because so we already retrieve the data at the one level. So that's what is not showing any new query. See, we can't get results in our report only. Okay, but that means like if you set up the only the quarter, the one level, that means you will not able to drill down the next level. No, the scope of analysis. But so what happened if you're trying to drill down to the next level? So it will create a new query in the backend. This degrade the performance of the reports. Right. So user going to drill down the report. Okay. So how many levels of you want to generate the report? You want to drill down the report. So user is going to drill down the report or one or two levels. Analysis. Okay. So if there is a requirement called end user is going to drill down the report one level, two levels. So in that case, you need to set up the scope of analysis two levels. So end user can drill down the report from the one level to the second level. But still end user can analyze the report to the next level. So report will not give a faster retrieval. It will take some time to get that information from the database. Okay. So most of the users they want to analyze the report only the two levels. Then set the scope of analysis two levels. Okay. Then whenever user drill down the reports from the up to two levels, so you will not see any performance issue. After that level, so the report will give after some time. So it will affect the performance if you are not setting the scope of analysis. Okay. Fine. So access data access and enable the scope of analysis. See. So here you can see the scope of analysis. Scope of levels is the one level, two level, three level. Okay. So here have selected the one level. So then when you drill down the report, so see again state to the city, click on drill down to the city, then city wise data is displaying. But when you're trying to drill down to the next level, guys, you can see in the bracket you can see the new query. That means the bracket is creating a new query. So it will degrade the performance. Okay. Yes, you need to do it at the query level. So you guys understand, so whenever new query generating, when you drill down report, not creating a new query. So because, so I have set up the scope of analysis one level. So if you click here, now take this cursor and it is not creating new query. But if it create a new query, so backend SQL will generate and will get the data from the database when you refresh it. That's what, so we need to set up the scope of analysis. Okay, to minimize this, to minimize the performance of the problem. So we need to set up it. Okay. Fine. Now and also sorry, so we can create the custom hierarchies also using the scope of analysis. How we can do that? Let me show you. We can create the custom hierarchies using the scope of analysis. So by default hierarchies is when you are drill down to the year, so then the quarter results it is displaying. But I don't want to display the quarter results. So here I am taking sales revenue and quantity. So enable the scope of analysis. So then select the custom hierarchies. Okay. So after year I want to drill down the report the month wise. After state I want to drill down the report store name wise. Okay. So I am going to skip the city information. Right. So year to the month and state to the store name. Right. So run this query, or else like you can still, so take the city and drop here, and the month, after month I want to drill down the report the quarter wise. But default is a year to the quarter to the month. But so have I did the levels as a custom. So year, quarter to the month, and state to the city to the store name. Run this query. Now go to the analysis tab, enable drill option here. So then, so by default it should be the year to the quarter, right? Yeah, we need to take the year. Drill down to the quarter. What's up? It should be a month. run this query. It. Here I am selecting, and the product lines I am taking, the measures I am taking, the sales revenue and quantity sold. Enable the scope of analysis. So after a year, so just set up the custom hierarchies. So here, so I want to do it a month, and the product lines and SKU. So I am skipping the one level, the quarter I am skipping, and the category I am skipping it here, and run this. And now when you drill down the report, it will not it is not taking the quarter information. So analysis tab, click on drill option. Yes. So now month wise data. So guys, you can see drill down to the month. And also when your product lines, generally it should display the category wise. But so what happened, SKU number it is this one. Similarly, when you are selecting the drill down to the month, so month to year to the month wise data it will display. But in the hierarchies by using the scope of analysis, we can modify the custom hierarchy. We can modify the default hierarchies using the scope of analysis. Okay. Custom hierarchies. Okay. So then if you want to like different levels, so that can be done with the inverse level also. So we can do the custom hierarchies at the inverse level. So instead of the taking the default hierarchies, so you can modify the custom hierarchies at the inverse level. Many levels. So whatever the levels, whatever the maximum levels are there, you can do it with the custom hierarchies. Okay. So now, so at the inverse level, have you guys like how to import the inverse. So now I'm modifying the custom hierarchies here. So how to set up the hierarchies? Go to the tools. Two types of hierarchies. One is the default and another is the custom hierarchies. So select the custom hierarchies, and now you can see expand these hierarchies. So now suppose like I want to add here. So after year I want to drill down the report the month wise. After month I want to drill down to the quarter to the week. So I'm just different levels I am changing. Here how to set up the hierarchies. Just for hierarchies purpose, just I am showing here. Okay. So for make the drill down enable to set up that. Okay. Now year, month, quarter, week, and similarly for a store, so state and store name. I don't want to drill down the report city wise. So I want to drill down the report after state. It should be store name. Only the two levels. Sorry, it is only one level. And the product, if you take it the product right, you can category to SKU number, SKU to description. So these many levels I can drill down the report. Whatever the hierarchy default is there, so that default hierarchies we can drill down the report. But so I am not interested. Even if user is trying to drill down the report to the all the levels, then so it will degrade the performance. So we can two levels only, not more than that. In that case, you need to set up this way: product lines and categories. Okay. Suppose if you don't set up the scope of the default hierarchies, so let's do none and run this query. So user can drill down the report. How many levels? You can enable. You can drill down the report to all the levels. So if user drill down the reports to the different levels, so report performance degrades, right? See, these many 4-5 levels are there. So if you are trying to go to the very detailed report, so here you don't find any difference, but in real time you can see the. So it will take data from the DB into our report. So that's what we generally we don't set up. We don't take the default hierarchies. Always we do the setup the custom hierarchies. Okay. User can drill down to the only the up to the category wise only. Then click on OK. So have a setup this custom hierarchies. Then so save this inverse. Export this inverse to the repository. So guys, we are not started at the universe designing. So we'll start later once the web intelligence completes. Okay. So from the scratch, we'll show you how to start creating the connection to the database and how to insert the tables. That we'll discuss very detailed level. Okay. Just for we are discussing the drill down reports, right? That's what just I'm showing how to create the drill reports, how to set up the hierarchies that I'm showing in universe designing. So then click on new web intelligence universe, click on OK. Select the fashion universe, click on select. So I'm selecting the year object, state I'm selecting, the product lines I'm selecting, the measures, sales revenue and quantity sold I'm selecting. Year, state, product line, sales revenue, quantity sold. Now run this query. Okay. Now go to the analysis tab and enable the drill option here. Yes. So now just click on your object and drill down to the next level, right? So whatever I set up the scope of on the hierarchies. So if you go to the scope hierarchies, so custom hierarchies, year to the month, month to the quarter, quarter to the week, right? So year to the month, month wise data is displaying. So then month wise, then if you click on month to the so what it is going to display? It is going to display the quarter one. Or else like go to the next level. If you select the drill down to year, so then the quarter wise results it will display. Fourth quarter is displaying, right? Okay. So then suppose I'm selecting the first month. If I select the first month, then it is going to display the quarter one results. And similarly, California, after California, you can drill down to the store name. So select the store name, insert the store name. Then, so but hierarchies are there. See, by default hierarchy is the, if you expand this state, so state, state, city and store name is there. But I set up the state and store name only. The custom hierarchies, I set up the state and store name. So I cannot drill down to the next level. Store name to the city, I cannot drill down. Okay. There are, by default, there are 5 hierarchies are there. But I have set up the scope of the hierarchies, the custom hierarchies, only the one level. That means you can drill down to the only the one level. You cannot drill down to the another level. Okay. So how we can decide? How we can decide how many levels we need to select? So that can be decided by using the requirements hierarchies. Okay. Yes, based on the report needs only. So we are going to set up this scope of analysis or the suppose. So you are not just you are the only the web developer, the only the specific custom hierarchies. So that can be done the custom hierarchies using the scope of analysis. So if you want to modify the universe level, that is, you don't have the universe access, then so you can do it at the report level. Whatever it is the custom hierarchies. The custom hierarchies we can set it up at the universe the report level using the scope of analysis. Okay. So guys, so now you are able to understand what is here exactly. There, whenever you are going to enable the drill option, that you need to consider the scope of analysis and the hierarchies which is at the universe level. Hierarchies, we have the 2 types of hierarchies. One is the custom and another is the default hierarchies. Okay. So what is the performance issues? So we need to set up the scope of analysis. So if you set up the scope of analysis, the 2 levels, so user can analyze the report. So immediately without taking a more time to drill the report. Then when it will happen, when you set up the scope of analysis to 1 level, 2 level or 3 levels, depends on the report how many levels. So depends on the user requirement only. We need to set up this scope of analysis to improve the performance of the drill option. Okay. Yes, Raj. Yeah, go ahead if you have any question. So guys, anybody have any questions? So anybody come up with the question? You are able to understand, right? What I am telling, the scope of analysis? Yes. maybe the last session we discussed, right? The one which has given the one scenario. So anybody tried that scenario? Creating a report. So here state-wise, city-wise sales revenue. So basically, you want to display the state is the highest state information should display the first order. So is anybody tried it? That restriction that can be with do it with the only the custom hierarchies. So we can restrict the drill of hierarchies or the 10 levels of the hierarchies are there in like product or the state. So in that case, that can be done with the only the restriction can be done with the only the custom hierarchies. Okay, I'm not talking about this can be resolved the performance issues. So with the scope of analysis, whenever the scope of analysis if you set it up, so it will reduce the performance issue. It will not resolve the issues because see if you set up the scope of analysis. So suppose I'm creating the so let me show you again. It will clear to you. Okay. So here I am taking state measures I am taking and run this query. So I did not set up any scope of analysis. Okay, and select the analysis and click on drill. So basically, see, so we have a data for year-wise, state-wise sales revenue. If you it is like creating a new query in the backend. So that means creating a new query in the backend means so the data which it will create a new query in the backend. So it will intelligence server it will take that SQL new query go to the database that particular query go to the database and it will retrieve database it will retrieve from the database. So when you are not setting up any scope of analysis when you're creating a new query, but if you set up the scope of analysis. So if you set up the scope of analysis, see guys, if you see the SQL, the data which is displaying the year-wise, state-wise sales revenue, but levels. So immediately the SQL will generate, now itself it will generate the SQL query, the month-wise and product-wise, month-wise and quarter-wise, store-wise information it will create it here. So when you run the report, first time when you run the report, so it will get the data from the database into our report up to 2 levels. So whenever you are going to drill down the report, it is not going to create a new query in the backend. So that is a way the report will give the good performance. The drill report will give the performance. I'm not talking about the is giving the good performance. Okay. Query anyway it will take time because so we are retrieving a lot of data from the database. So different levels of objects data we are retrieving it. The query it will not affect when you scope of set up the scope of analysis. But any query in the backend, it will directly comes our report data only. It is not creating any query. So that is where we can minimize the performance of the drill down report, reduce the performance of the report. Okay, so it will give the good performance when you use the scope of analysis. Like so before running the query itself, so the SQL generate when you run the report, it will retrieve all the data, all the levels of data will get into, right? So immediately it will give the results. Okay. So fine guys. So any questions? Anybody tried the requirement which I given the last time? Okay, so that maybe I will show you the tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, so now tomorrow we are going to discuss about the condition formatting. Nothing but just quickly I will go through the info view how to enable the drill option. Before ending the session, just we quickly go through the info view. Info view is a business object Excel 3.1 portal, right? So this guy, you guys having this info view access. If you doesn't have it, I will share with you, or you can get it from the Ravi. Yes, nothing but alerts, nothing but condition formatting. Info.bo. Yeah, just send me a mail who need the access. If fashion invoice I'm selecting. Formatting and linking one report to the another report, and also we can create the interactive analysis reports. That can also we can do it in the tomorrow session. Maybe day after tomorrow we are going to start the invoice designing process. So guys, I'm taking the year object here, and the state I'm taking state, and the product lines, and I can take the measure sales revenue. So the scope of analysis you can see here. Set up the scope of analysis. You can set up the 2 levels or 1 level. Here quarter, city, category, and run this query. So drill option is here. Select this drill option. Okay. Then drill down to the quarter. So then select the 2005, and then if you want to see the specific Florida state, then you can see the Florida state. So this is a way we can create the reports. Yeah, because of the Internet Explorer version. Yes, correct. So Raj, you are getting you are not able to open the invoice because of the Internet Explorer. So this will not work in the Internet Explorer 9 version. So it should work in only the 8 version or 7, 6 also it will work. Okay, you can try it out. Okay, so guys, any questions? 876 it will work. Okay, fine guys. Tomorrow we can continue the other concepts with the web intelligence. Okay, so guys, maybe you can try it out today, and if not possible, that the IS state sales revenue information, that we can, maybe if you have time we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, we can link one report, one block to the another block. That also we'll do it tomorrow. Thanks guys.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will